not okay. It's still not
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Show me the document you have. You have no document. Bring the document.
I have documents and everything
Let's
has
do
been
it.
submitted.
Let's do it. I'm a minister. You cannot tell me. You cannot tell me that. We cannot continue to have in this impunity. Where the approval even to keep. You cannot continue this way. This country cannot continue along this line. How can that man at his level, even if he has a problem, he cannot reach me and say, look, I'm sorry, see what I have. You will send soldiers to intimidate who? We are all from this country. And this is government. You cannot be higher than any government. You cannot be carrying gun to intimidate people to not to do their work. Let me tell you, if not going to chief of defense staff who spoke to me now, he could have killed everybody here. No problem. I'm not one of those that they can intimidate. I'm doing my job.
We are not intimidating anybody.
That's what you're doing.
The civilian, the engineer mobilized to site, and then staff or workers of SCG look at the
Sorry.
No, listen now. That is the problem.
them. And that was when the admiral gets the order.
He cannot give order against government.
Because the papers are complete and he said
Well,
submitted
are you
them.
the one? Listen, you know the police you have. Are you the one that will say paper? What will show me that you are good? First of all, show me that government gave you this place. Two, show me that you have an approval to build what you are building. It has nothing to do with I'm a vice admiral, I'm a lieutenant general. That is not it. We must work according to law. We must work according to law.
We forwarded everything to you.
And
Yes,
so you. No, you cannot tell like this. Don't
you try it?
Don't tell me this. Keep quiet.
Don't tell me I'm lying.
Who are you?
I'm a small boy, but the commission of planning. Ready for this. Ready for this. Just to come and convince.
Stop this here. Stop this.
How do I face him? How do I face him? This is not professional. It's not professional. You can't be pressing the minister of this thing. It's okay.
It's okay.
Demolition is property.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
That's all that
matter.
matters. I'm an officer. I take to orders.
So what? You had a who than me.
I'm an officer. I take to orders.
To order that you take illegal order.
Mr. General.
Okay.
I can't say no. That was
You can never develop this property I will not allow it.
No problem, sir.
You are
I'm only acting on my
if
orders.
you want to kill everybody, kill everybody.
We will not kill
You
anybody,
cannot.
sir. We will not. We will not kill anybody, sir.
You're putting yourself in trouble.
We will not.
My
friend, you see,
You cannot shut me up. No, you cannot shut me up. You are my senior. You cannot even talk when I'm talking. Because I'm
have to reach you.
talking that way. Why bother are you now? I've been talking and policemen will be talking.
then you are taking with us. We don't have any.
I'm not to carry security to intimidate you. Because you're an officer. Nobody does that.
We did not carry anybody.
The man took Lara, we will not allow going on the tip of the bus. And then for you to carry line.
Sir, everything was applied legally.
Will you
And
stop
sir, you
that?
get the...
Will you stop
Sir,
that?
I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, your mouth, good
Sir, I will
officer.
not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir, I'm a
I
professional
was in
officer.
school, you're not in school.
Sir, you can't shut
Will
me
you
up.
keep quiet?
You can't
Give me
shut
a
me
big
up, sir.
fool.
I'm
You're a
not
big fool.
I'm not a
You
fool,
think I
sir.
can shoot anybody like that?
Sir, I'm not
You're
a
a big
fool.
fool.
I am not a fool, sir.
As at the time I graduated, you were in primary school.
I'm acting on orders.
Take for which
You can't
order?
call me a fool.
And this, you will see what else you know this year.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
Go
I'm
and open up your
an
mouth.
officer. I'm not a fool, sir.
Don't
I'm
hell
an
with you,
officer.
so corrupt. You would have killed everybody here.
No, we won't kill anybody. We won't kill anybody. We are acting on orders.
Go and develop your let me see you.
Regular officer, you want to come and interview?
We are going to get out.
Director press.
Oh, National FCT Minister. Greetings to everyone. Good morning to you. Good morning to you all. It's another day, another one in Nigeria. My goodness, I'm not going to lie. I like the way this naval officer stood his ground. I like the way he stood his ground. You see, when a system is not working, when you think you are benefiting off the system, the same Wike, cat has got his tongue. Power jam power. Wike, for the first time, you could tell the man was uneasy. Go and look social media. Now they use this video, they drag Wike up and down. I'm telling you, get out to who they are. And guess what? They tell the man say, the audacity, they tell the man, you know I'm older than you. When you are still pampers. I'm like, hello, will you please keep quiet? According to Patience Jonathan, wetin we dey talk, wetin you dey talk? The man is doing, now wetin they send am to do, they do. This is what happens. Impunity all around. Regardless that the officer stood his ground, this is not where he's supposed to be now. He's supposed to Boko Haram, they fight. They're not supposed to be here. But you see privates, because now retired naval officer house or land they guard, you see them, they use them till they do this kind of work. It's a shame. It's a shame. Tracy, welcome, my sister. Abemona double tap the screen to like, oh, make I bring the different reactions from people. Come for now. It's crazy. Let me see. There was one I found. I'm gonna play this video. Bam. Make I first play this one first.
We don't pass person. We don't meet person with senior ram.
Because you're not
I love you, soldier.
the man took Lara, we will not allow going on the tip of the bus. And then for you to carry line.
Sir, everything was applied legally.
The guy,
Will you stop
the
that?
I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, your mouth, good officer. Will you get out? I was in school, you're not in
bully
school.
don't meet
Will
bully.
you keep quiet? Give me a big fool.
Soldier, we suppose this service at the airport fight.
Sir, I'm not a fool. I am not a fool, sir.
As at the time I graduated,
This say that everybody in future.
take for which order? You see what else you know this year.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
Why you not beat am, soldier? Why they don't
Kill
beat
everybody
am?
here.
No, we won't kill anybody. We won't kill anybody, sir. We are acting on orders.
Go Go and develop the right to see you.
Regular officer, you want to come and
We are going to now get out.
If you think Nigeria is not a country of peculiar or particular concern, that means you yourself, you are a person
Director Press.
particular concern. Look at our country. Soldier, we suppose they protect people when they buy our people. They fight for land. Minister, we suppose get brain. They don't reset in brain. I love my country.
Oh, Oswan.
They stop Wike from going inside. Wike, you must go back inside. You must go back inside and come back. That land is a land of peculiar concern.
I not hear that one, no. Petono, that would be great news, oh. I not hear
That
that.
land is your land, oh. As a minister of FCT.
I heard that he run go Turkey. I hear say El-Rufai don run go Egypt. Who else? 3 people don flee. Issa Pantami don run. I don't know where that one. Then I don't forget where they say that one go. But I never hear of any arrest. You understand? So exactly, Tracy. Anarchy looms. See, power don jam power. That naval officer not supposed to dey there. It's supposed to Boko Haram with that in fierceness. No, but private citizen, because now former naval officer, this is why we don't have enough boots on the ground. This is why it's not supposed to be, but this is what it is. Anarchy looms.
It's your land. Don't let everybody take it to the land of peculiar concern. This but no. Oppressor. We can go Chelsea like this. Embarrassment. Home minister. Minister FCT. He can enter anywhere. Because he don't care. We can go chop across room. Bully, pass bully. Don't let those soldiers chance you.
What YouTube channel? It has to be a viable source, so I haven't seen it.
Oh, your hate. The first soldier.
Some of those YouTube channels now
clickbait.
clickbait.
They create. Now you go come back, come meet.
Yeah, until I see it on.
You go see.
Nah, I can't go with that. I can't go with that, Petono. Until I see it, going Twitter, they know they play. Now instant news, you see it all over. Until I see them, I not go even pay attention to that. Okay. Look at here. Gunmen abduct 6 defense ministry directors on way to Abuja. Hey, they panic. UK has suspended intelligence sharing with the US. Are you guys aware? Okay. Now, this Arise News exclusive, according to them, Nigeria is not doing enough on security. So this Nigerian journalist, went to meet with one of the congressman to talk about it. So let's take a listen to this.
I'm here at Rayburn House, which is the office building for the U.S. House of Representatives. Because of the government shutdown, it hasn't been easy getting a hold of anyone. But we
they don't stop intelligence sharing with U.S.
These allegations of a Christian genocide in Nigeria.
I'm glad that we're able to do this. This is something that's been very, very important. And as I've been saying to some of my colleagues, we were too late on Rwanda. We were too late on South Sudan and a number of other atrocities that have happened in Africa and other places around the world. So let's not be too late again on this one. What I'm concerned about in particular is you look at the Fulani and the radicalized Islamists, how they are attacking both moderate Muslims as well as the Christians. And I think it's hard to deny when you see 200 Christians slaughtered on Christmas Eve a few years ago. Clearly it was coordinated in the attack. And I've talked to people that were in the village. I've talked to religious leaders. who have been experiencing this for years, they feel targeted and know that when their homes are being entered or they're being attacked in the middle of the night, this is not just some sort of, oh, people are in conflict. They feel very much targeted.
Because of that, the U.S. response has been swift.
Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria.
President Trump threatening to potentially go into the country, guns blazing, to wipe out Islamic terrorists.
I too was surprised by the comments that they came out, that the president came out that forcefully. I suspect that is not a high priority of having actual military intervention specifically in Nigeria, but I think he does want to make sure that from his view, the genocide that is happening specifically against Christians, but also others in Nigeria, needs to stop.
But instead of military strikes, Congressman Zenga now calling for economic sanctions.
Well, I don't envision a surprise attack. I don't envision that there's going to be a military response first. We had talked about, I would first and foremost encourage them to look at the economic pressure and sanctions on both individuals and organizations. I think that would be the most effective. Frankly, this president has been someone who has pursued peace rather than just expanding war. So I think he would be very selective before he did anything militarily. As we talked a little bit about earlier, with our government shutdown here in the United States over the last 30 plus days, that has caused some real problems for us internally. And we are having to deal with that. So first and foremost, our attention is going to be on reopening our government, trying to get it back and functioning at maximum level. That doesn't mean we stop talking about or thinking about or acting on all of these other issues, but there will probably be more of an emphasis on our government operations initially here for the next couple of weeks. Then with our appropriations bills and the things that are going on, I mean, one of the ramifications is we aren't able to have committee hearings right now. So that's one of the ways that we help try to raise the attention on these particular issues. So we need to get back to having the government open so we can start having those hearings again and those kinds of things. Sanctions really cut off the flow of money, cut off the flow of travel. We don't know who exactly is financing much of these operations from the Fulani or Boko Haram in the past. And what I do know is, though, if we put economic pressure on them and the inability to move money around, that will have an impact, I think a positive impact. So I want to get serious about it because, again, I'm not convinced that the Nigerian government has taken the situation seriously.
Huizenga saying he thinks the Nigerian government needs to do more.
They need to demonstrate what are they doing to protect not just Christians, but certainly Christians, and what are they doing and proposing to lower that violence threshold. And I don't, that's, earlier you were asking, have I been satisfied with their response? No, because I think their response has been, no, there's really not a problem. Well, I think there is a problem. And I'd like for them to demonstrate either very clearly why they think there is no problem, which, again, as I had said in the meeting with the foreign minister, that I don't think that was adequately addressed at all, and more satisfactorily, what is their plan to deal with the violence in Nigeria, and both against Christians, but I think in general, much of the other, many of the other situations that are violent, and we talked earlier a little bit about the importance of Nigeria in not just West Africa, but the whole African continent, and the economic success and potential that is there. They being the Nigerian government has talked about, well, we don't want to have an unstable situation for Western companies to operate. Well, you're allowing that destability, that instability to occur. So I would argue that it's not President Trump or the United States that's causing that instability. I would argue that when you can't guarantee the safety of your workers and your employees or your products, and whether it's in energy or mining or in a number of other things, you've got a problem. And obviously, Nigeria is a beneficiary from various forms of aid internationally, but they also are a beneficiary of businesses that are coming in. And I think it's in Nigeria's best interest to make sure that whether it's the Fulanis or others that are really the root cause of this, that it's addressed. I had a very frank conversation with the foreign minister back in May. Did not get satisfactory answers, and so we're paying attention and we're trying to put some pressure. If you are asking me, am I satisfied with the Nigerian government's response to both questions in committee or questions that we've had in private conversations, my answer has been no. Had I thought that they had adequate responses, we would not be having this resolution. We would not be having this legislation. And to me, my frustration is it doesn't feel like the Nigerian government has been taking this serious.
Anyeza Osakwe, Arise News, Washington, D.C.
Okay, so guys, please double tap the screen to like. The likes are very, very low. So those who have liked, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please continue to double tap your screen device to like, or click on the 3 dots on the upper right corner to like the video, to like the live, share, subscribe if you have not yet done so already. Please, guys. You guys know Reverend Dachomo is going to be on News Central 7 p.m. Nigerian time, which is what, like 11, what time? 10 a.m. I think. Is it 10 a.m.? I don't even know again. No. When I know this, I want to check something. 7 p.m. Nigerian time is... but as I do that one, Mukuna they help me, they like, I beg. I beg. Mukuna they help me, they like. Just double tap. Gently double tap your screen device. 10 a.m. So in 17 minutes, we're going to switch to News Central so we can catch the live. This is a very important... so in exactly 17 minutes, it's a very important video and that we need to watch. So guys, please continue to take the likes up. Yeah, I'm going to bring it here. In 17 minutes. So, okay, let's move on. See when they give press conference.
Can you take us back to when this started and what this is all about?
When it's so late, and these are the kind of things that the last development. We are aware that the land development and the economic control have been mandated to see where the illegal development going on and land grabbing. And when this was brought to my attention, I did instruct them to make sure that nothing takes place in as much as they don't have any legal paper in terms of regional approval or even acquisition of the land. And when they came here, I was informed that the soldiers have the ability to chase them away. And I thought probably they will be acting illegally. And so today, when I was in the office, where they came to implement the directive that was given to them by myself, I was called that the military have taken over the place. And I have to come by myself to see things for myself. It's still unfortunate. And you heard what the officer said was said by the former chief of naval staff. And I don't understand how somebody who attained that position, I see that he has a problem, cannot approach my office to say, look, this is what is going on, this is what is going on. But simply because he's a military man, he could use that to intimidate Nigerians. I'm not one of those kind of persons that will succumb to blackmail or intimidation. And you can imagine where you cannot even prove where are the documents. And the doctor told me, I said, look, I was here. I said, bring the documents. You don't have the documents. Bring the approval for building. You don't have it. And how can we continue to allow lawlessness to prevail in this country? What about those who don't have the military? What about those who don't have security? You tell them during the level where when government officers are doing carrying out their job, you go and bring security to intimidate them. Against government officers. I will not accept that. I was spoken to the chief of defense staff and I was spoken to the chief of naval staff. And they have assured me that please, they have to resolve the matter. And we're not coming here to have issue time with anybody to cause chaos or not.
Small boy don't check wiki. Gen Z don't check wiki. Hey!
The way we have done
nothing suits me like this.
The same way it will be done here. He will not carry out this illegal development and land grab simply because he was the former chief of naval staff. I will not allow that. And that's really well.
Una see the fight when Nigeria, when supposedly, allegedly, government arranged, but between Boko Haram and ISWAP. Then they fight for both. then they target each other. They practice target shooting on each other. One of them for the bow, they brushed it. Oh my God, Nigeria don't go below low. You think they call below low, below. Now Nigeria dey.
Introduce you guys to the most secured man in Nigeria today. Meet Pastor Dachomo of Plateau State. This is the most secured man in Nigeria today. Some people might be wondering, why Saddam, why are you saying that? How is he the most secured man? It's not the man that has been on TV crying about the unalivings of his people, talking about how even when they should kidnap him, he don't want them to pay around so that his blood will speak for him. That's exactly what I mean by saying he's the most secured man in Nigeria today. He has come to terms that with the fact that life itself is meaningless. He has reached the Rubicon of his crusade to understand that my life is not worth anything. So I can speak out and I can say that uncommon truth that many men, so-called men of God today, will not speak because of political correctness. I will say it as it is, without fear or without favor. And his heroic activism, as we might call it, or what we have been seeing over the past couple of months, has actually earned him the right to be the most secure man in Nigeria today. The so-called probably invasion of Nigeria, as APC are terming it right now, by the Americans, hinges on the safety of this man. I dare say that if tomorrow this man sleeps and do not wake up, probably they come out and say, autopsy said that it was malaria or something. That alone, the outcry that will come out from the world, will push the hands against the Nigerian system. So I believe deep within me that even the perpetrators of this terrorism, their sponsors and their enablers, would have put a signpost upon this man. Do not touch. This is truly that do not touch my anointed right now, because if anything happens to this man, and I'm saying this because maybe probably the Nigerian government, you know, our Nigerian government are very slow. They are very slow in thinking, they're very slow in acting, they're very slow in everything apart from stealing, right? If the Nigerian government make the mistake of not securing this man is the gate ticket for any invasion or any action from the Western world in Nigeria. If anything happens to that man, Nigeria will see the activities of Western powers in the country, whether we like it or not. And that is how he has earned his safety. That's how he has earned his security. And this for me is a wake-up call, especially for our so-called opposition and politicians that are hiding under the banner of patriotism, hiding under the banner of this government is very vindictive, hiding under the banner of this government are attacking us, to understand that how you win your safety and security, especially to a vindictive government like this, is when you speak up. The eyes of the world is currently beamed on Nigeria. The eyes of the world is currently shining on Nigeria. And if you can take this opportunity and speak up and become, you just automatically become a child of the world. And if anything happens to you, which we know this government are scared of international, if there's anything that we have seen right now, Tinubu is not scared of anything than international eyes on him and his government. So if anything you guys are doing as opposition, it's important you guys understand that you guys need to play in the international field, because as you guys are playing local, Tinubu is a local champion. He doesn't care about what happens in the local. He's the referee, he's the judge, he's the umpire in the local affair. But when he goes international, he is nobody. And that is where you guys should play. I hope they are listening. And to all our pastors that have been keeping quiet, I've not said a word about this whole stuff, or those that are speaking out now because America are speaking. I hope the world can see. I hope your congregations can see. I hope your people can see and understand that we don't really matter to you guys. All you guys are all after is political correctness, so that our enterprise will not be harmed, or so that we don't fall out of the good book of the government. It is crazy. This is my appreciation post to Pastor Chomo. God bless you, sir, and your family. And hopefully you live to see the Nigeria that you are currently championing for. You are a beacon of hope to millions. If you don't know it today, that millions understand. Those that really wonder what is in Christianity, because honestly, for so long, I see a rise in atheism. I see a rise of young people running away from Christianity, and I wonder. And I'm like, well, you cannot question them when you look at the fathers of the faith in Nigeria today and what they stand for, what they represent. No, there is nothing that these guys do or say that will inspire the next generation to want to be Christians. But when you see someone like this saying, I'm willing and ready to die for Christ, it sparks something in you, wondering, if a man like this is saying he wants to live and die for Christ, that means there's something in this Christ that I have not seen or have not experienced, and I will want to experience it, that in all his humility, in all the sufferings, in all the pains, in all the anguish, in all the acts of terror that this man has seen, in all the dead bodies this man has buried, he's still saying, I'm willing to live and die for Christ. This is an exemplary figure for Christians, and not the private jets, the big mansions, the mighty churches, the auditorium-like churches, the convoys, and all those stunt-like miracles that we see. No, this is real Christianity. This is your flowers, Pastor Dachumo. Thank you, and may God continue to expand you and your ministry.
Welcome, Emmanuel. You said that shows that Fulani power on Wiki, just the tip of what is to come. Power go jam power now. And are you guys aware that they are protesting that they must remove the INEC chair? I think I have that video so that you guys can hear. They are protesting. The Fulani people are angry. I want to say it's the Fulani terrorists that are angry. They are calling the Amupitan guy tribal bigots and religious intolerant or something like that. I'll bring the video for you guys. Yeah. Also, the fight between Boko Haram and ISWAP is either staged. That's what they're saying. That people are saying is staged. It's not real. One of the guys, you can see the person brushing teeth. Oh my God, Nigeria. Aye. Anyway, we have 5 minutes.
All right, guys, real quick here. So, 19 Northern military officers, all Northerners, plotted a coup against Tinubu. I have waited for the Yorubas in APC to openly come out and condemn that act. But no, go on X, go to all social media platforms. Their problem is still the Igbos. Not one Igbo person is in the list of these 19 officers. Not one Yoruba person, but the Yorubas in APC, their focus is still on the Igbos. Have you now seen it that the definition of your madness cannot even be found in the dictionary? Shout out to all the Yorubas who have not sold their reasonableness, their sense, their brains in exchange for 25,000 naira monthly data subscription from APC. My name is K Baba. Hey, Gbadu. All right, guys.
Guys,
quick,
please double tap. Continue to double tap the screen to like the show, please. So meanwhile, this guy went on the interview on Sky News. All right. This is what this man had to say. It's long. I don't know if I want to bother reading it, but let me just, it's not too long. So in my interview on Sky News last night, I made the following points regarding the allegations of religious persecution in Nigeria. The Nigerian Constitution enshrines religious freedom. Our country remains a multi-faith nation. It's not. It's a secular nation. I don't know what he means by multi-faith. It's a secular nation. Omo, you guys have Olodos as representatives and senators. We already know that anyway. With no room for intolerance, for religious persecution. Every day people are persecuted. What has this man done? That is the real question. And I think that there's a serious comprehension problem in Nigeria. What Trump said and what these people are doing, opposite. They are running fire brigade. Meanwhile, Trump said, if you do not, instead of them to channel that effort into doing something, what are they doing? They are gaslighting, explaining, no evidence. That's what they are doing. They are scampering all over the place. This one don't go how many news channel to go and talk about. Nobody is talking about nobody is asking you to explain. They are asking you to do something about the genocide, about your people, for a genocide of your people. What is so hard to understand? Now I understand why they say me Nigerians write what is that they call this test before people can't do fit get admission overseas. Now I understand why, because for a long time I did not understand why you need to, because you can speak the language. I assumed you can understand it as well. But no. This has proven even your people at the very top are dumb. They don't even know. Look at them running like headless chicken. Voila, don't go Russia network, go China network, go the network when they this word. Explaining. That's not what they are asking you to do. They are asking you do something. Your people are being unalive. Do something or we will step in. What is so hard to understand? It's alarming, no? It's alarming. Nigeria now Olodo, country of Olodos. I'm sorry to say I'm Nigerian too. So if you're going to get in your feelings about this statement, no. Get in your feelings, please. It's important. You need to be hurt. Anyway, I progress. Oh, we have 1 more minute to go before I switch. Okay. The security challenges we are facing and which we have not shied away from are being tackled with boldness and decisiveness. I reiterated President Tinubu's assurance that diplomatic engagement is ongoing. Channels of communication have been opened between the Nigerian and U.S. government, and we believe they are getting a better understanding of the situation. We also believe that the information being peddled is as a result of lack of proper understanding of Nigeria's diversity and complexity of our situation. These people are the sponsors of Boko Haram. There's nothing you can tell me. We are seeing a direct connection between U.S. lobbyists and a proscribed terrorist organization in Nigeria. We have seen how they have set up this lobby in U.S., contacting senior people in the United States for help. The United States government has always supported Nigeria in fight against terror, and we are urging them to partner with us once again to help defeat terrorism and extremism. The international community must understand the peculiarities of the Nigerian situation. We want the world to have a full understanding of the diversity and complexity of the situation. Now, here's the thing, right? You know, there was something Nacho said yesterday that we have to also consider. We have to take under advisement. The Hausas, right? You know, they dress like them, but they don't really dress completely like them because the Fulanis wrap their faces. Hausa people don't. They just wear their cap and that their long kaftan, right? now I've seen a couple of Hausa people coming out now and calling out these Fulani people. I think more Hausa people need to continue to do that so that they can differentiate themselves. And I think you can also, I think it was yesterday when that man Babacheo Lawal said that if you're not Fulani, even if you're Hausa Muslim, that they buy the Hausa Muslims too because they won't cleanse them. You see, anyway, let's see if they've started. Guys, please continue to double tap your screen device to like. Oh, I beg. Muna double tap to like. Biko, I beg, I dey beg. For those who have liked, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me see.
Nature of these attacks. The Nigerian government, however, insists that the crisis is not about religion or ethnicity, but
guys,
about
continue to double tap to like,
and insurgency,
please.
And says it is ramping up efforts to restore peace across the affected regions. Today, we're joined by Reverend Evangelist Ezekiel Dachamo.
I hear you, Emmanuel. I understand what you mean. I'm just saying.
Plateau State. A man who says the crisis goes deeper than statistics and politics.
It's either staged or Air Force helping Boko Haram. I don't doubt you. I'm not arguing the point.
In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
It's an absolute pleasure having you join us, sir.
Amen.
All right, so, Reverend, the United States President Donald Trump made global headlines when he threatened that there might be, or they're considering a military intervention in Nigeria, and that is because of what he called a Christian genocide. However, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar of Nigeria, dismissed the claim, and he says it is false and inflammatory, and he insists that insecurity affects all of Nigerians. Now, my first question is, what exactly is your claim? Are you saying that Christians are being targeted in Nigeria? The killings in Nigeria are targeted? Or are you saying that Christians are disproportionately affected, even though the killing is targeted at everyone?
By the power of Jesus Christ, who came and died on the cross to redeem us from the power of sin. And we still call upon the name of the Lord Jesus Christ to deliver us from terrorists, Islamic terrorists. I said it confidently. Northern Islamic evil satanic agenda that want to take over this country and lured us to be like Turkey, to be like Afghanistan, to be like other nations that have no peace in the Islamic Middle East. A voice must cry out to invite the heavily throned government to interfere. And this is what is happening today. We have been crying out for over 30 years. Right from 2021. It is before that time, because in 2021, this thing come glaring. There's a jihad moving to destroy Nigeria. Before 2021, there was a lot of casualties that will have been received all over the north. I would say Nigeria. But it has been silenced, enduring the pain, until a launch of jihad came 2001. And the full blow was just moving. We are just enjoying it, pressing it down. Women are being raped. Come and see, we have to be slaves to the Islamic terrorists. They will force you to go and farm for them. If our local native people did not go and farm for them, then even if you farm, they know you have farmed. You will not harvest anything. Until this thing grown up to become a full-blown genocide. I have the statistics. statistics. I've been to the monument. I've called names. These are the names of people that have been killed in one day, one night, 501. This happened on the 7th March 2010 in Dogonawa, Gemburuk. Gemburuk is a local dialect name from our forefathers. When they came, gradually our forefathers accommodated them in peace. But when they grown up with external forces, they changed the name to Dogonawa. Abandon the native, this is a jihad movement. When they want to take the land, they invited Islamic terrorists from the far north, Niger, Chad. If Nigeria don't know about it, please know about this. Why did they cancel history in Nigerian secondary school? It's jihad. So that we will not read about the history of how Ottoman Danfodio was moving towards the cause to force everybody in Nigeria to become a Muslim. But our forefathers blocked him from flowing into the south. They hid that the west, southwest, southeast, south, that they are supposed to receive. We are the ones that are receiving it at the middle bed. We stop that heat by standing on our faith in Christ. We refuse to submit our soul to Islam. That is why in one night, look at it, 501 people were killed completely in one night. I was there in the morning after the insurgent left. Come and see blood everywhere. In the process of carrying dead corpse from every house, from some on the road, some on the field, some in the gutter. Depends on where they met you. They slaughtered you. A woman gave me testimony that day. It was God in tears that saved her. When they came, they said failure because it was during the moonlight that very day. When they came, chanting Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, entering this village, she saw one of the insurgents after he has beheaded the head, blood of a Christian victim. He licked the blood. She was watching him, shivering. With her child, she covered his mouth. This is a religion that chant Allahu Akbar, calling people for worship. And the same religion, they shout Allahu Akbar, calling people to come and kill.
Okay, but Reverend, are we now saying that all of the 500 plus persons that were killed that night are Christians?
All of them are Christian.
Because I want us to look at some national data here. In 2024, Human Angle Media reported nearly 9,600 deaths nationwide, and it estimated roughly 60% of the deaths were Muslim and 40% were Christian victims, and this was driven largely by farmer-herder clashes, terrorism, and communal retaliation. So when we see figures like this, does this now challenge the position that the killings are religiously motivated, especially against Christians?
Let me tell you something about these statistics. They say 60% Muslim. Killed by who? By Muslims. Based on different faith of sect. And do you know why this thing? It is the blood of the Christian that is fighting Islam. Those that have been killed. You see, when they came in, the factuals in Borno, they follow villages. On Sunday, they will enter a village and meet people worshiping on Sunday. And they will separate the male from the female. And all the male in the local area, like Gwaza area, Madagali, these are in the North Borno area. And this is what is happening. Do you know something? They will slaughter all the male. Those that will survive in that church, they may have not come to church and they were able to escape that. And the women, they will select the one that they needed. They will rape them, they will do what they want. And this is one, they will leave the children at the mercy. Many of the Christian women relocated to the Middle Belt, and their land was seized. Their crops was vandalized. And even as I'm talking now, let the Nigerian government prove me wrong. Let them go to Ngoshe mountain around Gwaza. It has been occupied by Boko Haram. You can't climb that mountain. They declare it as their headquarters, a colony. And it is from there that they used to come down to come. Now in all the village, after sending the Christian away, the Christian relocated. If you see Christian is in the urban area where there is security, maybe inside Maiduguri, you find Christian. I've been there. And most of them, if you are to interview them, fact-finding, you will discover they run for refuge into the city. At least that's where they're getting covered. Rural areas of Borno, hardly you will find a Christian. The same thing in Katsina, the same thing in Zamfara, the same thing in Kano. If you are there as a Christian, you ought to be allegiant to them to control your life. So after they are left, now the machinery, the insurgent that they have brought, then the issue of faith came in. What happened? They started hitting. The Fulani were hitting the houses, killing them in the mosques, killing them in area. They know. This is factual statement because I've been there. I preach on television of Zamfara, NTA. I preach on Katsina. Even the day that I was in Gusau, that day, Matawale village, the president, his village was attacked. We are busy praying for them. Those that were able to escape, the Boko Haram entered that village of Matawale. And this is where Muslims are killing Muslims, the Izalas are killing other faith because of their indifferences. It is the blood of innocent Christians that is fighting them that were killed.
Okay, I want us to talk about the attacks, the alleged attacks in churches.
Yes.
Right, so you've shared harrowing accounts of your grandmother's heart being removed, and you also talked about your uncle's tongue being cut off.
Yes.
You also mentioned your best friend's wife and her kids, her 5 kids. You even said that she was, backing one of them. Now, recently, we saw that the pastor of Flaming Fire's ministry, Simon Black, was killed. But then he was killed in the farm. So all of these attacks, were they carried out in churches, or were most of them carried out in churches or in different regions?
In different regions. Some on the farm, some outside on the way. From the market going home, there will be ambush, and hardly you will hear that. And let me tell you something, they say farmer is a slogan of Islamic movement to deceive the world. That is farmers clashing. We have that even before the colonial, even after the independence. We have that. We settled differences. Once Hardo or a Fulani man discovered that his children have destroyed fire, before you wake up, he will be there at your doorstep. After worshiping, doing his salah, he will come and wait and say, please, yesterday my children came. That's how we are living peacefully. Because of that, we sympathize with them. We say, it's okay. But the president said that I know they are really troublemakers. And this is what is happening today, my sister. They butchered us, even in the market. They can enter with AK-47 sporadically. And this is where they came to my village, Biei. It's in Riom local government. That's Riom district. Biei, this is where I grown up. And the Fulani knows that that is my village. They invented chanting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, sporadic shooting all over the village from different angles. And this is the sound of their guns. I don't know whether it comes from, is it Iraq or Iran or anything. You hear kukum, 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 kukum. This is the sound of the terrorists in Islam. And when they enter the village, and this is what happened. They move. After that night, those that were able to escape helter-skelter, they were able to hide. Then they burned the villages. I was called. I have to take a journalist to that village the following morning. Because I wanted to go down there. They said, no, don't come this night. They can do something for you. I was crying. I couldn't sleep. My wife is here with me. She know I was restless in Bukuru that time. Until when it was in the morning, I was able to move. Is here with me. She know I was restless in Bukuru that time. Oh, come and see children that came out from the bush and they were in trauma. Women that hid themselves and went reluctantly into the village. The youths that escaped, they gathered themselves and come back into the village. They were following me into the house. What will I see? I was able to see my grandmother that I grown up with in Gomata. And the youths were challenging me that they want us to bring something for their self-defense. And we didn't do anything. And look at it here. When I saw her corpse, the youths are the one that opened her chest for me. And I saw a broken knife. There was no heart. They asked me, would they remove that knife? I said, no, leave it there. Let that knife become a weakness for us when eternity comes. Wherever they are, they will not escape judgment. Then they say I should follow them again. Behind the yard, here is my uncle's corpse called Dangai. His tongue was removed. I asked the youth, they asked me, what will I do? That day, I was surprised to see the governor, Governor Jonah Jang. I had Serene. He came to the village, and you have to cross 2 rivers. He came, and we did the burial. 13 people were killed. The monument is there. We didn't build it, but by God's grace, we'll build it. They took me to my childhood friend. We grown up, Dalio gang. What will I see? So I went into his house. I saw his wife, 4 children, They are in other side struggling. And the woman, there's nothing she can do. The fire just came down and burned them all. The woman quickly pulled her child at the back, seeking for the way to escape. I discovered they locked the door so that none of them would come out. That is how we buried her with her child at the back. The agony of Christian in Nigeria.
So I want to find out, all of these attacks that you have mentioned, they're quite harrowing, and I'm sorry about your grandmother and your uncle. Have there been instances where you heard about Muslims also being attacked in a similar manner?
Let me tell you, no Christian attack Muslims. If you see a Muslim dead, where did he die? It is in our village.
So you're saying the Muslims also attack other Muslims?
I'm talking about when you see another attack, Muslims are saying they are killed, we killed them. Ask them, where did we kill them? In self-defense in the village, casualties came. In our village, they loot the village. Look at this village. Look at this material. These are all the houses that they burned. Look at the number of people, number of houses destroyed, 120 in one village. Total number of dead. Because God was able, and this is Christmas Eve, one person. But the other village, you can see me at their graveside burying people at that place. But this village, disease, and this is the person that died, Mr. Tambaya. Total number of displaced people in that one village that they burned, including the church building. These are factuals that are here. In that process, some of the Muslim folk casualties. And there's one thing, the Fulani always come with extra people that in case, in self-defense, the folk casualties, they drag their corpse. They know I'm saying the truth. They know, you are listening to me. They drag their corpse to their ruga. And they will go and videotape and say, we killed them. Where? We have never moved to ruga where they are settling. But I'm asking God, God, if it is your will, give us just one day to visit ruga. Then they will know what stuff Christians are made of. But we'll be establishing patience based on our faith in Christ. Jesus said, love your enemy. If they are hungry, feed them. If they are shelter, give them shelter. And we all did that. We give them place to sit down and rear their cattle. Even when we make harvest, we allow them to enter and eat the remaining crops that we left over. With full of love. Look at another village again that I went. It was dangerous. Oh God, help me. This is where Reverend was killed. And look at the houses. They were burned down. And I thank God the chief of defense staff came. This is NTV community. They came, Nigerian government came. The present chief of defense staff, Junior Matawali, he came. That day I knelt down, I begged them. Let them help us. Why is it that it's only the Muslim always come to our domain and attack us?
Okay, so
Why?
You have mentioned that, in your statement now, you've mentioned that the governor of Plateau State came to one of the villages when it was attacked. You also mentioned that the chief of defense staff came. So that means that it has reached their ears. Has there been any follow-up since then regarding this, and what was their response?
Do you know that minister of, I don't get her name, that minister of humanitarian that was removed by present government? Because that woman was able to mobilize and bring materials as directed by the president. When she brought, I don't know what happened. After what she has done, there's a gimmick. Control by Islamic agenda in Asorok. I don't know what happened. Just to hear that that woman was removed. Maybe she has a shortcoming, but I know her shortcoming cannot be compared with Muslims that are working with Tinubu, destruction of this nation, but they are not removed.
If you're referring to Dr. Betta Edu, is that it?
Yeah, that woman, I didn't get her name. That woman really helped. So I look at it, they say, Kai, this woman helped these people. In fact, she's going to cause harm for Islam in the north. They maneuver the way they remove her. You see, any person in Jos, when Darie, my governor, Joshua Darie, hear very well, they have been killing us in mass from to village. And do you know what happened? When he saw in one of the village that this machinery that were hired, many of them, our youth killed them in our territory. So the former general secretary of Miyetti Allah, Saleh Bayare, he packed the corpse to the government house. I imagine that day, the governor, Darie, say, you people have been killing Christians. I didn't say anything because my hand, now you brought the corpse, what do you want me to do? The Christians have never packed their corpse to bring to me. It's an offense to Islamic war. Since from that day, they started attacking this man because they want him to use all machineries to kill the Muslims. But he refused.
Okay, very quickly, I want us to go back to the removal of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs that you mentioned.
Yes.
Did she at any point offer support outrightly to the community?
No, yes, she did. She brought trailer of rice. She brought mattresses. She sent representative to Broad.
So are you now saying that you think her removal was attributed to that?
Let me tell you, at the shadow, but they know best. But one thing that I know, with what she has done for us, these people, when they kill us, they don't want the governor to come in. You see, when the governor stood, they forced their way to Obasanjo, and he declared state of emergency. Darie was removed. And I thank God that day, after 6 months, they still stood with reinforcement that Darie should never come back. God chose me single-handedly at TCN, and I spoke. My brothers, after they have deliberated who is who in Plateau, they said Darie should never come back. I will not forget. The former camp chairman, Yakub Pam, was there. So I raised my voice. I said, where is your brother? Don't you see Islamic agenda is a war on Plateau because it's a Christian state? Why should we reject our brother? Why should we become Cain to kill our brother? This thing is moving down to the south. God is asking the Yoruba Christians, where is your brother? And the Muslims, where is your brother? We are all Nigerians. We are supposed to protect one another. God is going to ask us, where is our brother? The Muslims in the north, the Fulani. If we have killed them in our mind, God is going to challenge us. Where is the blood of our brother?
Okay, I would want to come back to that because, again, there have been speculations that different Christian organizations have been silent since all of this began. But I want us to go on a short break. We're still having the NC exclusive with Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo. We're talking about the insecurity situation in Nigeria, especially, is it religiously motivated or not? Stay with us.
The emotions are high, people are angry, people are in tears. Notice.
All around me, there are people, many of them trying to salvage whatever they can salvage.
Ismaila Mohammed was shot by one of the officers of the Nigerian army. This is the hole where the bullet penetrated, and that's the second hole.
Right behind me are members of the Nigerian police force to alert the protesters that they've gone past their time.
They came out with reinforcement, basically. All right, at the moment, do roll on now.
The stories of insecurity in Nigeria has once again been brought to the fore, and this time the President of the United States has warned that if the federal government of Nigeria does not act fast, there might be a military intervention in. But then again, the government has refused to accept that these claims of insecurity are pertaining to a particular religion. They say that insecurity affects every single person, religion or not, and it's not religiously motivated. But this time we have Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo, who has been saying that these killings are religiously motivated, targeted at the Christians. And today he has come with claims and proofs that he says are the things that he sees that makes him talk about this with so much passion. Thank you so much for being here again, sir.
Thank you very much, Mike.
All right, sir. Before the break, you were talking about some of these experiences, some of these killings that you have, you've seen the bodies, you've conducted mass burials. You also shared some accounts of things that happened in Dogonahawa village, and you talked about some things that happened in Yelwa Shandam. Now, one of the examples you gave was the fact that sometimes these attackers come to the churches and kill the men and rape some of the women. And then you also allege that some women are taken to neighboring villages. Run me through some of these experiences, because there have been speculations that since these attacks started, the Islamic groups or Islamic leaders have not really done anything in terms of sanctioning some of these Muslim attackers that have been alleged to attack these people. And it didn't just start in 2021. If we look back in history, we would talk about Deborah Yakubu, who was stoned to death in 2022. We'll also talk about Deaconess Eunice Olawale, who was murdered by alleged Muslim extremists in 2016. So people are saying that if it's not religiously motivated, why are these Islamist leaders not calling to order, or at least, enforcing the sanctions and punishment of some of these perpetrators?
But you see, what happened? The real issue here is glaring. There are forces from the Islamic perspective that is being released so that the world will not know that Christians are not key. But let's look at, to prove to you this is religion. They know Look at Deborah killing. No cleric of Islamic condemn it. The mission of Leah is to show the world that they are in control of Christians. Nobody can do anything. The issue of Muslim ticket, that's a complete genocide to the Christian in Nigeria. Plans towards Islamic people to take over Nigeria. Special advisor on security matters is a position that has become a birthright for Islam. Look at it. A non-cleric, Sheikh Yahya Jingir, came out publicly and said they should stop arresting Fulani. And he's the leader of Izala, the strongest sect in Islam. And all his people are allegiant to what he said. No government condemned him. No single cleric. They were silent about it. The man was boastful. And you will say that this thing is not religion?
The warning that was issued by the President of the United States regarding a military intervention if the federal government doesn't act fast. Do you think that a U.S. intervention will solve the problem of insecurity, or would it just worsen the already existing issue on ground?
Find out what the front pages of the newspapers are saying every morning from Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 8:30. Don't miss it, and you can also call the number on your screen.
I will never succumb to a place where I say,
average Nigerian will tell you, Ross, now wow.
Engage with us. Share your views. Only on Breakfast Central.
How do we save this country?
We moved from the APC to the PDP.
Therefore, listen, I'm still paying teachers in Ondo State. If Olabode just should be expelled from the party.
It's an existential imbecility, utter nonsense.
Join me, Dapo Adeboye, on Politics HQ, where Nigeria's political heartbeat is felt. Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. on News Central.
sunny Irabo, and I have something special for you. Join me every week for thought-provoking conversations with Africa's most influential leaders and change makers from diverse sectors.
The solution to this is not about begging for food or giving food away. The solution is for Africa to have a bowl in hand, not to beg, or to put seed in those
Okay,
bowls.
guys, they're on commercial, so let's take our own quick commercial in the meantime, so we don't waste time. I have a couple more videos. This is what Buhari was said to have said, right? I will continue to show openly and inside me the total commitment to the Sharia movement all over Nigeria. He said this on August 27. I can't see this date very well. I can't see the date very well. Whether it's 2001, I'm not sure now. It's very blurry. Okay? So this is what Buhari was. So I'm now wondering, people knew this and the sentiments of Buhari, and still, it's Buhari that laid the foundation for this mayhem that we're experiencing, with the help of Tinubu. Okay? They promised each other, when you finish, I take up. Because Tinubu said he will continue from where Buhari stopped. Isn't that what he said? That's what we are seeing play out. Let me see if they're back. Okay, they're not yet back, right? Okay. Now, this is, I don't know if it's Bakin Ladi, local government chairman, and his 7th senator, Plateau North. They were unalived. A former head of civil service to the state was also unalived. The world was silent. Perhaps the silence is much preferred while communities are burnt and go extinct. The man was spied. Senator Yang Dantop. Okay? So that's it. Now, let me see. I'm even in the, let me go to my bookmarks. Hold on 1 second. Okay, they're still doing their commercial. So remember I told you that the UK, they're no longer going to be providing the US intel. Okay, now the UK, our closest ally since World War I, just cut off all intelligence sharing with the US about Caribbean drug trafficking boats, calling the strikes illegal. Britain doesn't trust us anymore. Trump has touched a century of friendship while he sucks up to dictators. Okay, that's CNN. You guys know, Democrat. Okay.
Want to come from is a bit really different. I think and I know that for Wike, before Wike got to that land, he must have gotten information that soldiers were at that land. You see, sometimes as hero where you be, not be every fight. Sometimes you dey fight. You see, there are times you go look some kind war. You first throw away your face, re-strategize. You see what has happened today that is trending everywhere? Trust me, whether you like it or not, it gets some kind of people who not feel look wicked for eye before. They don't get small mozo. Most especially if wicked did not enter that land. Some people go say, so this man not be I am that I am. So sometimes it better make people assume, say you dey fear, than make people see, say you dey fear. If Wike had not gone there, people for the say, I beg you, if to say Wike go there, forget it. But say he go there, he dey talk, that guy stand. Face am. I feel that Wike would have saved himself this embarrassment and keep his crown.
Filthy crown.
What has happened to Wike today that is all over the news? For me, it has reduced more than 30% of the respect that people generally have for him. Knowing that there are human beings in this life that can stop Wike, for me, it would have avoided going to that place totally.
is it that they cut this thing short? I don't know. Did Nigeria, did they say, people are asking too in the comment section, wetin happen? Did they tell them to pull the plug? Who stopped the interview? Hey, the truth is bitter for Nigeria. They just pulled it in. They show commercial. People are wondering too. Well, let's be waiting to see. This is weird. Abina. The interview just end like that. Make we dey see oh. And they see, wait. The government has asked them to stop airing the interview. Wow. This is what one commenter said. Government has spoken. Seems it's over. Orders from above. Wow. They have called the channel to stop the broadcast. Another commenter. Hey. Hey. Wow. Anyway, let's move to, make we dey look our own videos first. This is wild. This is wild though. Eh?
I don't see this video between Minister for FCT and the military officer. Some people say this one not professional or this or that.
Guys, please continue to double tap the screen to like the show. Let me not talk over this. Continue to double tap the screen to like the show, please. Continue to double tap or click on the 3 dots on the right hand corner to like the show. To those who have liked, thank you very much. If you have already liked, you don't need to like again, otherwise it will take out your like. Okay, so please continue to double tap the show to like. Thank you.
You see the military officer in this video, he must be protected at all costs. Yes, because he is our gallant officer and he's a man of integrity. We must protect the dignity of our armed forces. In fact, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shuaibu, and even Chief of Naval Staff, yes, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas, we beg you, sirs, you must protect this our dear officer. Nothing must be had to happen to him. He must be given all the support as a gallant officer because he stood professional even in the face of unprecedented provocation. Yes, he is a man of integrity. It does not matter whatever was the cause of the altercation, whether they carry out legal or illegal order. The Minister for FCT has no right to address a military officer in that kind of reckless and derogatory manner. No, we reject it. No, Honorable Minister. Because when you build a system of impunity and recklessness, this is the result. When madness jam impunity, now the thing we will go see, so clash of the titans. Shena only minister for FCT, the Tinubu cabinet. Is minister for FCT the only minister in Tinubu's cabinet? Where be say since they make one person minister, the full country cannot drink water and drop cup. It is like saying now one emperor. In fact, Abuja never see minister before. Even independence, you go see billboard congratulating minister for FCT on independence of country. It be like Nigeria get 2 presidents, one president for Nigeria and one president of FCT. Convoy in a power bike go dey the front. Everything you are a fool. No, Honorable Minister, no, you cannot address our military officers like that. These are the people where they fight war, protecting our national interest and territorial integrity. You cannot address him like that. Whether you agree, say the other way carry out there is legal or illegal, you cannot resort to self-help or political banditry. There is a channel where you fit carry out his report. You can write a petition to his superior or you can go to court. Shebi when I like court. Now go always tell us to go to court. Now they take care of judiciary. You can go to court. You should not resort to motopark politics. No. You cannot be telling the military officer say he's not a fool and he's not a fool. You cannot tell him to shut up. If you have any grievance with what he's doing there, take it up with his superior. Every leader must be able to show character and restraint even in the face of provocation. You cannot resort to this kind of gutter language. No. Since when they make one person minister, issues of land for Abuja don't turn another thing. Now this, now that. When they say they allocate land to children, they say, and so, I say you can, when I was in school, no, honorable minister, no. Now so they think they pay. The same way they think they pay on so as they pay them, the way they say the thing when una do was the time when they bring up Biakpo result for 2023 election. Now so Nigerians feel this impunity is big enough to go round. The way they think they go, you go touch everybody, one person at a time. Because we have decided to build a system of impunity and rascality. We must make better of our lives. Look at the show of shame. Security agents, where they attached to minister, struggling and pushing with military persons, and most of them were armed. What if anything be happen? A shame of a nation. Shame on you, Nigerian leaders. Ori buruku leshe. So no matter the provocation, leaders in the country, public office holders cannot show decorum, cannot show character, cannot show composure. In fact, military officer is even showing more restraint and professionalism in the face of provocation. Because the way they think they go, now slap be remain to land for one person eye. But it kukuma good. If to say a civilian do one, by now DSS or don't land down, you know, even they see well, or they go tear gas you, they carry you go throw for slaughter, they will charge you for treason, they will charge you for this. Power past power, but nothing past God. Make una see am now. Resolve this one. We thank God, beg you, our military officers, you must pamper them, you must pet them. They have dignity. That uniform carries a lot of pride. You cannot insult men of our armed forces. If you disagree with whatever they are doing, that they protect house of former chief of naval staff or whatever, there is a channel to register your grievances. Learn to follow due process. Honorable Minister, follow due process. You cannot be constituted authority. You cannot be the rule of law. Follow laws and procedures. That is the way a country should go. Not to turn an entire country to behave like a zoo. Even zoo, animals go in a certain manner. This one is a lawless zoo. We cannot continue like this. Nigeria, we must build a system that respects law and order and not allow recklessness in public office. May God help Nigeria. I thank God, Beguna, Nigerian Armed Forces, protect our dear military officer because he can even become chief of defense staff. He spoke on behalf of all well-meaning Nigerians. He said he's not a fool and he's not a fool. They say make he shut up, he said no go shut up. If all Nigerians fit get the courage to speak truth to military public office holders, when they know say the thing where they do they wrong, they will have a second thought. Now because everybody they do like zombie, now make una they think say una be God. You are not God. Follow due process. My name is Peter for our armed forces. Yeah.
They cut the interview because they're just doing commercial. I think that the truth that this man's brought has rattled the federal government. They told them, cut it out. I'm sure it's the Fulani amongst them. The Fulani terrorist sympathizers. Now they say, cut it out. But you know what? Reverend Dachomo has said all that he needs to say. They cannot keep this truth forever. He don't talk am finish. He don't talk am finish. Sorry guys, I'm quickly responding to somebody that is still asking me about this program. Let's see. They're not gonna bring her back. Oh, calls are coming in. Somebody said in the comment section, calls are coming in. They are telling them stop. Hey, oh my God, Nigerian government cannot handle the truth. The Fulanis are rattled. The Fulani terrorists and their sympathizers are rattled. Everything when they want cover with cloth don't come out. Shegumi, they shout for here a day. Let them cut him off. But Shegumi has been making rounds all over. Daily Trust, Arise News, channels, everywhere. They go everywhere. You know, you don't go Arise because they fear, all of them, they fear Rufai. You don't go Arise. Not only Arise. I don't know if you go Arise, more than let me know. At least Miss News Central can't tell us, say, sorry, there was a break in transmission, we're having trouble technical. Not be say, they show commercial. What have we got to, wetin bring us come here now, we are not sure am again. The unprofessionalism alone. News Central, do better. Let's listen to this in the meantime.
Why do Western schools ask for English proficiency tests from Nigerians, knowing fully well that Nigeria is an English-speaking country? But when you look at
is she on now?
Nigeria, you understand that.
I wish the Precious can even bring him to her show. I'm going to see her. I'm going to reach out to him as well. Make he come talk everything for here. Okay, she's on. Yeah, he reached to take them go ICC. Let's finish listening to this and then we'll switch over to Precious. Arise News. They're not to bring the man back again. No.
Read this man's
hey,
I have watched his videos.
Nigeria is oh my God, Nigeria.
I'm hearing from contrast to what this man is saying. Where are we getting this? Nigeria want to be invaded by Trump. Trump wants to come and invade Nigeria.
They know what they are doing. Opala, they do.
Omoye just said to his millions of followers that if Trump attack us, where is this Trump attacking us coming from?
Exactly.
Is this an APC?
Guys, please continue to double tap the live double tap the live to like. Double tap your screen device or click on the three dots on the corner to like.
It is simple.
Hi!
Nigeria, stop the killing of Christians and other people. As for me, I do not agree that it's just Christians. I know that both Christians and Muslims have been on the line, right? But the English from Trump is simple. Stop the killing of these Christians by these Islamic terrorists, or we will help you do it. Nigerians are not terrorists. Muslims are not Islamic terrorists. We have good Muslims that are being killed also by these guys. And do you want to tell me that these Muslims that are in IDP camps don't want help? I don't understand this hysteria, honestly speaking, because the only people that ideally should be scared of what Trump has said are the terrorist sympathizers, and the terrorist enablers. If you're among this group of people, then I can understand why you're scared. But if you're a common Nigerian that have understood that our country has been passing through insecurity problems for the past 15 years, you will be living in joy, knowing that we are at least now probably seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. We can't explain why. I do not understand, and I will never understand why any common Nigerian will be scared or will not be happy that we want to see an end to terrorism. And this is to my northern brothers especially. I believe there's actually a government-sponsored propaganda right now with the whole notion that America wants to invade Nigeria. Please, there is no how America has said they want to come and invade Nigeria. America has said they want to come and fight Islamic terrorists. In quote, Islamic terrorists. If you're not an Islamic terrorist or you're not sympathetic to the terrorism going on in the north and in other parts of the country, you will have no problem with this. This is not Israel versus Palestine, because many of you people are now feeling like, oh, America, or it's a religious war. Trump is not saying Muslims are killing Christians. There's a genocide of Christians, yes. There's also a genocide of Muslims, yes. And if you're a Nigerian that care about Nigeria, you will want these killings to stop. So please, stop falling for the antics of this APC. APC has failed in their duty to secure the lives and properties of Nigerians. So what they are doing now, they are stoking fear so that Nigerians will reject help that they cannot give us. The ball is in your court, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Stop and solve these problems. And Trump will not come. If you stop it tomorrow, if we see in the news 100,000 terrorists have been unalived, and there's a return to sanity in our country, and our people can now leave the IDP camps and go back to their lands, Trump will not come. Do your job. The question Nigeria should be saying or asking right now, or the demands we should be making right now is, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC government, do your job. Stop adding up, hitting up the whole place with fake news. It is insane what APC are doing just because you don't want to do your job. Get to work, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's the only thing that can save you. If you don't do it, millions of Nigerians will come to understand this propaganda you guys are passing. And please, I wish all Nigerians can get to watch this video, because we have to stop this hysteria going on amongst our people. America are not coming to invade Nigeria. America wants to help us stop terrorism in Nigeria. That is what Trump is saying. I don't understand. I'm not speaking about the underlying motives. I'm not going to come out and talk about what I do not know. But I'm saying from what has been written is that they want to put an end to terrorism in Nigeria. So if you're not a terrorist, if you're not sympathetic to terrorism, if you're not a terrorist enabler, if you're not benefiting from terrorism, if you're tired of terrorism in Nigeria, you will love what is currently happening.
I hope that those who don't understand, they understand, because there's a huge comprehension problem in Nigeria. Please continue to double tap the screen to like. Let me go back and see if it's back. It's not back, my people. Oh, Nigeria. See, government don't they shout. I should say that they shout, but guess what? Dachoma has said everything he wants to say. Reverend Dachoma has said everything that needs to be said. You cannot hide the truth forever. I'm glad that he had the time to say the important things, and it has rattled the Fulani terrorist sympathizers and themselves. All of them don't they scamper, they run up and down. Can you imagine? See, they say Nigerian military troops were said to have raided Fulani terrorist camps in Benue yesterday. During their parades, their faces were covered from the public. See, they covered their faces. Please tell me why they are covering their faces. Tell me why. You see how they cover their faces? Why they cover their faces? What's the essence of public parade when the faces of the terrorists are hidden? Are you not supposed to expose these terrorists for who they are? Beg. Listen to this.
But you're assassinated. Oh, we went to America. We went to America. To do what?
I wanted to also make a correction. Of course, you know that a lot of people know me as Goodluck Jonathan's brother. It's not just about being a brother of Goodluck Jonathan. It's actually my spiritual mentor and everything. And I keep studying him as a book, so that I can graduate from his mannerism. But so unfortunately, I have not been able to graduate. I might not graduate, but I am learning a lot. Amechi mentioned something here. Unfortunately, it's not on seat, and I really would like to put the record straight so that people will know exactly what it was in 2013. It shouldn't be about how mobilization was done. Yes, people were mobilized on both sides, but the outcome depended on who was on the seat and his approach to life. And yes, Goodluck Jonathan is one of those persons who says that his ambition is not worth the blood of anybody. And I think that should be a lesson for all of us, that any president who is on seat should always emphasize that killing of innocents on account of achieving political power should be immoral. So, however, Amechi also said about going to the US or not going to the US. Actually, it's true that people went to the US, and that's not something that we can hide away under the rug. People went to the US, and we know why people went to the US. And he also mentioned that when Kerry came, he came to tell the government that government should do peaceful elections. When John Kerry came to Nigeria in 2014, he went to Lagos. He never went to the villa. I was in the villa. He never went to the villa. He came as a private citizen. He didn't come as a guest of the government of Nigeria. And he went back from Lagos. So he met the opposition in Lagos, and he came to make a particular statement to the opposition in Lagos. Now, if you wind a little further, immediately after Kerry came and left, somebody by name David Axelrod. David Axelrod was the senior special advisor to Obama, became the strategic campaign strategist of the APC. It was not a coincidence that a sitting president of the United States, Barack Obama, sent his senior special advisor to become the chief strategist of the Buhari campaign. It's not a hidden secret. We need to keep these records straight always. And in any case, it appears to me as an individual, and this I'm not speaking on behalf of Goodluck Jonathan, he might have his own views on these issues differently. But I mean, as someone who has worked and has stayed behind him, I owe it a duty to always voice out and say it exactly as it is, no matter whose ox is God.
All right, well, we're going to switch over to Precious NUTV. Let's see.
UK and Canada.
Let me start
instead of spending
in the last command. I am not stupid, sir. If you hear the way the young military officer answered Wike, you just be wondering what is going on here. But I'm here to give you a bit of that juice of the conversation. Now, there was recent attempt in Nigerian Senate to impeach Akpabio. Did you know that? Well, I'll let you in on that because Ojo Zokalo spills the beans. Reps raise alarm over 1,894 unmanned Nigerian borders. That we'll also talk about. America informed me of anything they planned to do in Africa when I was president. Who said this and to whom? Olusegun Obasanjo, your former president. Alleged money laundering. Court adjourns ex-governor.
Welcome, Benjamin. Thank you for being here. Please continue to double tap your screen device to like. Continue to double tap your screen device to like the show, or click on the three dots on the upper right hand corner to like the show, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. To those who have liked, thank you very much.
We'll give Governor Yahaya Bello's trial until January 29th. So go and chop your life. Marry 10th wife if you like, till January 29th. U.S. aborted mission after moles in Nigerian military leaked planned rescue of Chibok girls to Boko Haram. Bolaji Akinyemi said this. Now, he's not the first person who said this recently. I think Reverend Labi Thompson also said the same thing on Channels Television. He is saying this on Arise Television. It is very sad. Politicians, security agencies, and INEC colluding to cook election results. Worst form of coup. Say that's it. The fact say both politicians and security agencies and INEC they cook election results. Say that one are the worst coup ever. We don't get for this life. Syria saying now in the talk this one. Christian genocide. Use bullets to kill terrorists or use your pen to resign. Adebayo, don't tell Oga President Tinubu. Soldiers connived with bandits to attack us and killed my husband. Plateau widow alleges. And then we'll move on. Gunmen abduct 6 defense ministry directors en route to Abuja.
Olumide, welcome. Thank you for being here. Please continue to double tap to like the screen, to like the live.
That's not what they do. Meanwhile, let's get into politics proper. As PDP suspends gubernatorial candidate, that is Guba candidate Ezenwafo, over alleged compromise during an Anambra election. That is the candidate of a party compromised. So which party? It shocked you. one that shall never end in this Nigerian politics. Trump's threat wreaking havoc in Nigerian stock market, Naira. And Naira economists now they cry out over what's going to happen. Again, court stops PDP from holding 2025 convention, INEC from recognizing outcome. That's FD. Protesters storm National Assembly, demand Senate confirmation of NEC chairman and nominee. Well, we'll also look at that. And let's see. And it was very pleasant news, some people would say. Ex-CDS Christopher Musa secures international appointment that day. And Nigeria is lucky, very lucky to have Tinubu as president. Well, all this other matters now bring to honor the month. But before we get into our guest, make I just quickly gloss through some of these headlines so ABC will just bring on us sharply, because it would be a big injustice if I know just talk some of them. So before I get to Reverend Achimo, which is perhaps one of the major conversations we will get, let's look at what played out today with your FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and the people that we be say in get wahala with today for inside Abuja. So before I go to that story, there's been an exclusive exposing what or the deal Wike had with land deal we get for Abuja. Now, it's not be the first time we will hear of allegation of land grabbing, of, siphoning land and giving to cronies, right? Well, now this exclusive has it that fresh details emerged on the land disputes that triggered Tuesday's confrontation between the Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike and soldiers who stopped him and his officials from entering a property in Gudu district of Abuja. Now, speaking exclusively to Sahara reporters, a legal practitioner involved in the case explains that the disputed 30 hectares of land was initially allocated to serving and retired. It was allocated initially to serving and retired.
1 second, guys, I have to say this. Do you know that News Central, I believe I said they don't erase that interview? If any one of you have a different opinion, let me know. I went back to check, to go back and see, right? To see if they came back. They have erased it from News Central. I'm glad that we recorded. Go ahead. Let's go ahead with this.
It was allocated initially to serving and retired military personnel, but was later revoked by Nyesom Wike. Now, the lawyer revealed that the same was reallocated to Wike's political associates, including a top ally alleged to be current Independent National Electoral Commission chairman. That is the INEC chairman, which was the enter according to my Isoko people. They don't already allocate land, give them from land where they come out for people hand. Now, the source who has been directly engaging in the matter said the revocation and redistribution were carried out in total disregard of the process, official recommendations, and existing approvals. In fact, quoting him, he says, "I am personally involved as a lawyer in this matter and several other cases of revocation and reallocation of land to private persons by Wike," the source said. Wike revoked the land, which totals 30 hectares, and allocated it to some persons, one of whom we hear, we were told in confidence, is the current INEC chairman, unfortunately for Wike, a former naval chief officer, Awal Gambo. And some serving army personnel have vested interest in the land and have partly developed some part of the land. Now, the sources claim that the land was originally designated as park and recreation area, but Wike allegedly changed the land use to multi-purpose and issued fresh rights of occupancy, ROFO, to new beneficiaries. Now, in a letter dated 17th May 2022 and addressed to the MD CEO Santos Estate Limited, the author Hajia Raskatu Abdulaziz, the Director of Parks and Recreation Department, said this. She said, this is with reference to your letter dated 21st of 2022 and above. And above matter, subject matter. Request for confirmation and clarification of the status in respect to plots, number of the land, in Guduwa district in Abuja. So bottom line, waiting caused the brouhaha today between Wike and the security officials or the soldiers. Now, as a result of land revocation, land will be say belong to some people, including a top military official or top military officials, because not only one person, where Wike revoke, totaling about 30 hectares of land in revoke carry give other people. You could quickly listen to that.
So let me say, the question is, there's no such thing as a cover by why silence, why silence?
I'm sorry. Show me the document you have. You have no document. Bring the document.
I have documents and everything.
Excuse me. I'm a minister. You cannot tell me. You cannot tell me that. We cannot continue to add in this impunity. Where the approval even to keep. You cannot continue this way. This country cannot continue along this line. How can that man at his level, even if he has a problem, he cannot reach me and say, look, I'm sorry. See what I have. You will send soldiers to intimidate who? We are all from this country. And this you cannot be higher than any government. You cannot be carrying gun to intimidate people to not to do their work. Let me tell you, if not government chief was first staff who spoke to me here, you could have killed everybody here. No problem. I'm not one of those that they can intimidate. I'm doing my job.
We are not intimidating anybody.
That's what you're doing.
The civilian, the engineer mobilized to site, and then staff or workers of SCG look at this.
Sorry. No, listen now. That is the
threatening them. And some of them, the admiral gets the order.
He cannot give order against government.
Because the papers are complete and he said submitted them.
Are you the one? Listen, you don't the problem one. Are you the one that will say paper? What will show me that you are good? First of all, show me that government gave you this place. Two, show me that you have an approval to build what you are building. It has nothing to do with I'm a vice admiral, I'm a lieutenant general. That is not it. We must work according to law. We must work according to law. And so you no, you cannot tell like this. Something I have to try this. Don't tell me this. You're fine. Look at me, I'm lying. Who are you? Who are you? I am everyone. Who are you?
I'm a small boy, but the condition of just to come and convince
stop this here. Stop this.
How do I face him? How do I face him? This is not professional. This is not professional. You can't be pressing the minister for this. It's okay. What can you so you are trying to what do you like that? We have seen it. It's okay. It's okay. Demolition is property.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Matters. I'm to order.
So what? You had a who than me.
I'm an officer. Take to orders.
No, that you take illegal order.
Mr. General.
Okay. You can never develop this property. I will not allow it.
No problem, sir.
You are
I'm only acting on my orders.
If you want to kill everybody, kill everybody.
We will not kill
You cannot.
We will not. We will not kill anybody, sir.
You put yourself in trouble.
We will not.
My friend,
you see, you cannot shut me up. No, you cannot shut me up. You are my senior. You cannot even talk when I'm talking. I've been talking and talking. You are taking with us.
I'm not the kind of security to intimidate because you're an officer. Nobody does that.
So I don't, I guess I speak for too long. That's the bit of the drama that played out this afternoon, and we don't hear the reason why this drama played out. Not just because of say the officers no let Wike, access the land. Now because of say the drama will happen to this land. I say some part of this land, about 30, totaling about 30 hectares, be 31 hectares. 9 they say Oga Wike gather. Some na park areas, some even they, giving to ex-military officers and all that. Now in gather, collect and buy, revoke the lands from their hand. Now they reallocate them to people. And the people where they revoke them for their hand now, where some of them are ex-military officers, come to build inside. And then, of course, they send their boys to guard the place as the construction they go on, or God try to enter the place, and they refuse. Now, but one of the things that caught me, according to what the lawyer said, is the fact that one of the persons where they newly reallocate the land to, now they just, newly appointed INEC chairman. If INEC chairman is already giving land in Abuja, how sure are we of a free and fair election? Well, there's a big question we'll have to respond to later on, but let me just bring in my guests into the studio as we discuss the state of the nation and the fears of Trump's threat. Joining me inside the studio in one Ogawe Sabiwe, barrister Red Sea Daniel Jugo Esquire, Imi principal partner and CEO of Black Palms Consults, team lead Sarina Initiative for Peace, Justice and Development. Barrister Jugo, a Nigerian legal practitioner with over 20 years specialized experience in security analysis, peace building, and indigenous rights advocacy. And they join us inside the studio. Barrister Jugo, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry, I pulled you out of your comfort zone this evening. Please forgive me. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, Barrister Jugo, are you there? Good evening. You, our village people. Barrister Jugo, are you there, please? Good evening. Okay, so I don't know if he's still there, but I'm sure he would somehow rejoin us. Barrister Jugo, are you there, please? Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, we can't hear you. You're very faint. I don't know. Put energy for your voice. Welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Very well. We can hear you now, crystal clear.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so before I go straight to waiting Reverend Ezekiel Dachumo talk, make I ask you, for inside Plateau State, I know you're from Plateau State and you perhaps live there too. So for Plateau State so far, Middle Belt will be one of those, Plateau State amongst one of those states that we don't face this alleged Christian genocide, since they call them alleged, or the denied Christian genocide where they say it happened. I would like to hear from you. What's in the pulse of the people for for Plateau State since the wake of Trump's threat?
Thank you once again for the opportunity to be in your studio. Except that, of course, this is virtual this time. I just want to say that at this point, one of the major things that bothers everybody, or has been a major issue, is that for over 10 years now, we have been having, killings going on in the Middle Belt in Plateau State. Just in my community, where thousands have been killed, thousands have lost their homes, many have been maimed. A lot of these people have had, long extended periods in the hospital, suffering one thing or the other. And the sad thing about this whole entire thing is that, for instance, the Yoruba community, which I am from Basa local government in Plateau State, and I also happen to be a board of trustee member of the Yoruba Development Association. I will tell you this very clearly, that just a few kilometers from that very community is the Third Amo Division. So we have a stag and very clear formation of military presence around the community. Apart from that, on the way to either Miango or Kwal, which are communities where the people are found, you have checkpoints, every step of the way, all the way in. Now, how, in spite of all of this presence of the military, we still have killings going on a regular basis. You still have people that will farm. Before you know what's happening, cows will be let loose into those farms, and they graze away all the sweat that people have spent rainy season trying to plant and harvest, and with the hopes that they will be able to harvest at the end of the day. So now it is almost as if nobody in that community believes that there's government presence, because people can do what they want at any time that they want to do it. Now, fast forward to this Trump declaration threat of dealing with the situation, since we don't seem to be able to deal with it in our using the powerful apparatus that has been given to the president.
To be clear, Trump's threats to handle the terrorists himself, to decimate them, and not attack Nigeria, because there's been a misinterpretation of that statement that he intends to attack Nigeria. I don't know where that is coming from.
It's just mischief. It's just mischief. In fact, in recent times, I've decided that even the conversation about whether there's a genocide or not, the question that I've asked time and time again is, have there people been dying in the Middle Belt, in Plateau State, in Taraba State, in all of these states and beyond? Yes, they have been. Have children been massacred? Children who just wanted to write their homework at night using lanterns, because most of these places are rural areas, and some of those places don't even have stable electricity. They just wanted to have do their homeworks and be able to wake up in the next morning and go to their school and be able to be taught and come back, hoping that when they grow up, they're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer or something. But some of those children never lived to see the next day, never lived to see the sun rise again. So to those individuals, all they're looking for is a messiah or somebody that will be able to cradle them and be able to say, listen, we are going to solve this problem. Now, wherever this whether it is a juju man that is going to come in there and wave a magic wand and make this go away, or a Donald Trump who is now offering help, because obviously where we are now is that it is clear.
Hello, Barrister Jugo. Right, can you hear me? I think he's had an interruption. Now, so the stories around this whole issue happening in Plateau, Benue, Middle Belt, and Nigeria generally gets me very emotional, because I not just understand, I never see any parent where go they comfortable. You see, say your children, they constantly under attack, and something they will kill your children, you born them plenty, and they die, they go. And you'd rather say, no, not believe my children, they die. Even my neighbor children too, they die. I don't know as I go use believe and say the reason we live in denial about what they happen with all of these killings. It's really very difficult to understand and to comprehend why we're rather running away from the problem than facing the problem as we ought to. It's really disheartening. Hello, Barrister Jugo, are you back with us? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you loud and clear.
Go ahead, please.
You know, the thing is this, and we need to be very. I have watched with great dismay. It is sad me that I am looking at these individuals who are our colleague Daniel Bwala, amongst other individuals who have spent. Oh yes, because he has been a big disgrace in my view. I have been very disappointed in Daniel Bwala and his utterances, and it would seem as if he has sold his soul, because anybody who would deny who is sitting down in any of those communities and listening to the kind of things that people like Daniel Bwala and the rest of his ilk.
Oh dear. Oh no. I just hope so not get caught network problem. This is the last thing I want right now. I want this conversation to be smooth. Hello, Dr. Mr. Barsaredzi. Okay. All right. We do hope that we can establish a clearer communication and then get back to that conversation. But at the meantime, if you just what he was talking about, Daniel Bwala, I would like even bring that matter of Daniel Bwala to the fore. Make we even see what's in Daniel Bwala talk, because he was in an interview, yesterday with I think there's Charles Aniagolo of Arise Television. And, as usual, they waiting. In fact, before I get straight to that waiting a talk, when you get waiting a talk where it talks talks to the United States, even though Charles tried to make him. Are you there, Dr. Rice, please? Barrister Rice, whenever you re-establish conversation, please kindly let me know, because I can't hear you. We cannot hear you at all. So if you re-establish conversation, please kindly let me know. Are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I think you're trying to get direct calls and it's interrupting your conversation. Sorry.
Is it better now?
It is fine. It is very fine.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So I was just saying that
appointment in Bwala.
Yes,
utterances.
Yes, I was just saying that anyone who's sitting down in those communities and is hearing the kind of things that people like Daniel Bwala have been saying will be very sad.
Oh dear, not again. Okay, so going back to Daniel Bwala, let me see if I can play excerpt of that conversation. And then he also did mention that, if you watch very well, if you're in the news, you'll find that there is renewed vigor in fighting terrorism, because our military have been decimating them right now, and he's very sure and certain, as specifically speaking, that Trump is not going to sanction Nigeria, because the Nigerian government is now, working very hard and is doing what it should do. Right. Okay. Barrister Jugo, I'm so sorry about this network issue.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can very well.
Okay. So let me just quickly say this: that when you are a citizen of a nation state, and the people who you elected to govern you, who you had a social contract with, and said, I cannot take care of myself, I do not have the instruments of coercion and that can be able to safeguard or give security to my family and my community, and they hand it over to a president, in this case, President Tinubu. What is generally expected is that he will put his best foot forward to ensure that the lives and properties of ordinary citizens are being taken care of at all costs. Now, when this does not happen, it is assumed that one or two things is the case. It is either the security agencies have been compromised, or they are in a place where they are helpless against the firepower of the terrorists that jump into compounds where people are sleeping and massacre people in their beds. Now, we're going to go on a limb here and assume that it is because that the second reason is at play here, even though time and time again, even on this show today, victims have clearly said countless times that they believe that there's collusion between some of these terrorists and some of the security agents, where they have been stationed to take care of this of the citizens. Now, if at this point Donald Trump is now saying, you know what, we know that your citizens are being killed on a regular basis, and we are not very satisfied with the efforts you're putting in there. What I expected was not to try to whitewash the situation as it is, or try to put a spin on the deaths and the massacre and the bloodletting that is going on in the Middle Belt. What I expected was for him to say very clearly that he intends, that he actually desires to be a stop to all of this madness in the Middle Belt and elsewhere, and to ask for some level of collaboration with the U.S. government. That way you also show that you are not complicit, that you actually genuinely want to make sure that these massacres end. Now, when you do that, you leave nobody in doubt. Now, but what we now see is that people are hopping on airplanes and going everywhere outside of Nigeria to go and speak and convince individuals or governments that, no, the definition of genocide is not this. It's probably just a massacre, or it is that, everybody else is being killed. As if that is not a public relations nightmare.
How does it make you? How does it make you feel, Barrister Jugo?
It makes me feel really sad.
I'm always really sad, especially to see that this narrative is already pushed to some Democrats, politicians in the United States, and even CNN, likes of some personalities in CNN are already buying it. There's no genocide in Nigeria. How does that make you feel?
It makes
with this attack.
It makes me feel really sad. It makes me ask the question, what are we really prioritizing? Because if we spent this power of diplomacy, this lifeline for diplomatic conversations with governments, powerful governments such as the US and the UK and Canada, instead of spending it trying to whitewash or give a spin to what we all know is happening in the country, I thought that the conversation should be, can we get more armaments? Can we get more intelligence? Can your satellites be able to be put at our disposal so that we can be able to see the things that you can see? Because obviously the Americas and a lot of all these other countries they seem to have even better intel than we happen to leaning in where these people are seated at that intelligence table. What happened to that? What happened to just empathizing properly and not making the citizens that have lost family members, community members feel like what the government really cares about is, how they look in the international community? Because that is the way it looks right now. That we seem to care more about how we look as the giant of Africa. We're dragged by the US because that is the way they have chosen to look at it.
All right, but I am going to take you on the recent development and the recent achievement or important achievements of the Nigerian government. The Nigerian government come up with they don't get renewed fight against terrorists. In fact, not a small bombardment when they bombard them. As ISWAP and what do they call them? As ISWAP and Boko Haram, they fight one corner, then they did the other corner, they bombard them, and they've established a lot of success in that bombardment. So basically, they carry some of them very well because, in fact, never see this kind of bombardment before. Now, there's a footage, an area view footage, where we see them post alongside this, showing the achievement and all that. Only picture. Say this is the exact similar NAF airstrike targeting ISWAP sometime in 2020. Like Nigeria has deflated this. Even other countries so don't jump in and say, no. This, in fact, even AXF could tell. How you see this one? Because one of the things your friend that you yesterday when you get an interview, he pride on the fact that you can see the renewed vigor, the renewed fight for terrorism, that the federal government is now all out for them, and that security agencies are doing all their best at disseminating them. And this is one of the disseminations where this is a wrong of footage that we use. What's the reaction to that?
My reaction is to say very clearly that I will also not use one brush to paint over each and every security agency in the country. They are gallant men and women that are working day and night to try to make sure that the territorial integrity of Nigeria is safeguarded. No one can deny that. No one can also deny that while this is going on, we are saying that even much more can be done. We're saying that what happened to giving ourselves timelines to work with? Are we going to carry this same fight for eternity? Is this how it's supposed to be? Or are we supposed to get to a place where we can be able to say, listen, this is our border. Everything that is happening within here, we need to quell it. Do we have enough manpower? If we do not, do we need to relax some of the laws to ensure that every human being who is under attack can also be given access to some arms? If you cannot deal with it, then you need to start to see how you can, the laws and the policies are made in such a way that an everyday man, someone right now in Tahu, in the heart of Miango, can be sure that, he can live to see the next day, even if somebody, an assailant or a terrorist, comes into his place. So for all of the gallant men and women who are doing their jobs on a regular basis, we say kudos to you. We also know that there are a lot of people, that there are elements within these security agencies that are working with the terrorists, because that is why we are at this point where it doesn't seem as if the problem is going away. So, and I once again, I need to say that, these security issues are very, very important. You cannot afford to run yourself into a PR, a public relations nightmare. If you're going to speak truth, you go ahead, speak it the way you need to, talk to the Nigerian people, empathize with victims wherever they may be. I'm happy that they just put in a new minister for humanitarian and poverty reduction, who is actually even from our community. So he knows how it is, how the suffering on a daily basis of the citizenry in some of these communities can be. And I say kudos to that. And I hope that he'll be allowed to work and be able to reach these victims and in communities that have been victimized by these terrorists over time. But in the meantime, one thing is very clear. We, as communities that have suffered this pogrom for such a long time, are not very pleased, are not very impressed with the kind of conversations that have come out about this thing. We need help.
All right.
Let us get it.
All right. So one of the things that governments don't talk over and over again, and most military officials, they may talk, say, now mostly farmer headers clash. So they really get pure terrorism from Northeast, while we get banditry from Northwest, and for North Central, not just farmer headers clash. What is your interpretation of what's going on in the
There's no clash. There's no farmer headers clash, madam.
What is really going on? How do you interpret what's going on?
What happens there is a massacre of innocent farmers.
To what
they
end?
are sleeping in their beds to the end for land grabbing.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I hope you know that as we speak right now, somewhere in Joel, in Riom local government, they have routed everybody in a particular village, for instance, and they have changed the name of that village. People that went back soon after the initial routing of them from that village went back there and found that the terrorists are living in their houses. In their houses. As we speak to you right now, all the security agencies know about this situation. Has anything been done to make sure that the lands that were taken away from these people are returned back? Have they done anything? I'll tell you no. Because if not, places like Mahanga, that is the name that they have given it now.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That wasn't the name before.
That is what it is. It is now known. So if you go to a park and you want to go to those areas, if you say any other name apart from the fact that you're going to Mahanga, they might look at you strangely because the change of name has been total and complete. And only the original names of some of those places just resides in the hearts of those who are originally from those places. So you have the complete takeover of certain communities in Plateau State and all in Benue State, Taraba State, and a couple of these other places. When someone comes in and meets you, you don't have a single weapon in your house, and sprays you with his AK-47, that is not a clash. That is a massacre. And that is what is happening there. And we're saying at the same time that the whole calling of those terrorists bandits, I believe that it was someone somewhere that put a spin on the whole thing so that it is not given the seriousness that it deserves. Because we grew up knowing that bandits, you can when you say bandit and when you say terrorists, you know that the weight that you accord to both of them is not the same. It's not. So you can actually have a bandit that may not carry a heavy armaments to go and steal or rob.
Bandits kill, maim, and destroy.
What happens there? Oh yes, well that is what they do. They maim, they kill, they destroy. That is what they do. Simply that. So I believe that one of the things that needs to be done, and I also urge media, when it is time to call it by its name, I think that we should stop trying to make it sound better or to water down what it really is. Those people are terrorists. Simply stop. And they should be called what they are.
That's for the bandits. We get them for different shapes and forms. How about the armed headsmen? The ones who basically they let people go farms again for those regions. What do we call them? Because
they're terrorists. They're still terrorists.
Allah and sanction them and all that, but they're shouting that no, you cannot designate us to sanction us because of the activities of the few of us and all that. But then they are not fishing out those bad eggs amongst them where they cause these problems. So why you won't place those headsmen where they go villages, own people, go farms, kill people for their farms? Where do you place them?
Any person who decides to inflict terror in the minds and the hearts of individuals, even before shooting one bullet, is already a terrorist. So when you have a situation in this case where they go and they kill people and we say we're not going to call them what they are, then we're playing, then we're joking, then we're not serious yet. Any individual, whether it is a farmer or a cattle herder who carries a gun and behaves in a way that he wants to annihilate and kill and destroy another person's life or a community's life, should be called what they are: a terrorist. Simply speaking, that is what they are, and that is what they will continue to be. To be known as, and that is what.
So some people from Fulani extraction feels like they feel like that is profiling.
So and that is why I'm making it very clear, because as I speak to you right now, we also do know that not all of them engage in this act of terrorism. Yes. We know quite a bit. We know quite a number of them. So I also will not paint them in one paintbrush as well. So, but when there is a need to call out individuals, and that is the sad thing about this. So I've been seeing groups, Northern Elders or this, they have been coming out to try to debunk the whole, it's not a genocide, it is this. And I was asking myself, where were all these people when people were dying by the day, they didn't say one, they didn't raise one voice, not one bag of rice or, no, nothing was sent to any of these communities to be able to help them. But now they are posturing and standing up and saying that they are going to deal with Trump. I mean, it's such a comedy of sorts. They are not going to stand. They are not going to back down, and everything. And I'm wondering, shouldn't we be saying? Shouldn't the narrative be, these killings have happened for too long. It is time for inter-country relations where this is concerned.
To join forces with any other country.
Exactly, to any other country.
So you mean that we should actually be happy and embrace Trump's decision with open arms?
As a matter of fact, if you ask any of those children in any of those communities that have been killed time and time again, you think they really do care who comes to save them? You think that is a matter to be discussed? If you think so, then you don't understand what it means to live your life in terror, not knowing whether you can see tomorrow. Then you don't know what it means. If you did, all that you be bothered with, and all they are bothered with, whether it is in Benue, whether it is in Plateau, whether it is in Taraba, in fact, in any of those states that are facing in Zamfara State, any of those states where you have these gun-wielding people that at any point in time may just get go berserk and just kill people for whatever gains that they want, whether it is land grabbing, in most of the cases in the Middle Belt, or it is to take over their mining sites for minerals, as is very evident across the country. So for whatever reason it is, those people that are in those communities, all they want is to be able to be sure that they can live to see another day.
All right. So there are people, some members, or some
is too much to ego.
Okay. So some citizens of the Middle Belt,
I'm listening.
Some citizens of the Middle Belt
Yeah.
actually wrote to the U.S. Senate and to the House of Representatives, including Donald Trump, seeking for this assistance before their plea, is needed. What do you think? I mean, you're from the Middle Belt, and I get that it's, lots of people from Plateau, Benue were part of those. Were you part of that in any way? Were you privy of this information of the appeal? And what do you think about going that extra mile? Your people going that extra mile to seek help from the United States.
The question to ask is, why was it necessary to do that in the first place? I want to make it very clear, and I need it to be heard very, very loudly, that when a young man or a little boy is complaining time and time again to his teacher that he's being bullied in school, and the teacher does nothing or looks away or laughs off that concern, would you find it a problem when the son actually goes and comes back to school with his mother or his father to confront the teacher and the bully? Of course not. I am using this to make it very clear that, do you know how many matters have been taken to the ECOWAS courts? Just to compel the state to either pay compensation or to take care of people that have been IDPs that have been displaced. Do you know how many cases are there? Do you know how many times I remember on behalf of our community wrote a 16-page letter with about 30 pages of annexures, pictures, data.
Okay, guys, I'm going to pause this for now. I'm going to bring the 27-minute video of Reverend Dachomo warning Tinubu Omo. Okay, now, let me switch this for a quick second. We'll continue from that story. Because Dachomo is important. Guys, please continue to like. the life. Thank you very much, Tracy. I really appreciate.
Welcome to an exclusive conversation with a man of faith whose voice has echoed through moments of
Is it
deep national
this or maybe it's another one? Because that was 37 minutes we just watched a while ago. Let me see. It's this. It should be the same one, right? Tracy, are you there? Isn't it the same one? Once, okay, let me go back to it. It might be. Let's just go back to it then.
pain. A Christian leader who has consistently cried out against what he calls targeted religious killings in Nigeria. Now, his outcry has grown louder in recent times as insecurity once again takes center stage, and this time drawing international attention. Now, reports of the United States allegedly threatening intervention if Nigeria fails to act decisively against the spiraling
I think it's the same
have
one.
reignited the debate about the true
We already
nature of
captured
these
it
attacks.
fully. You
The
know what I
Nigerian
mean?
government, however, insists that the crisis is not
This is the
about
beginning, so I think they
religion or
cut it
ethnicity,
out.
but about criminality, banditry, and insurgency, and says it is ramping up efforts to restore peace across the affected
Yeah,
region.
I think it's the same one. Thank you, though. I really appreciate. Let's go
Annexures,
back.
pictures, data, and everything like that. Just before that was before the massacre in Gashish, that is in Burton Ladi local government, about 5 or 6 years ago, where they killed in one fell swoop, one night, they killed about 200 people. 200 people were killed on one night. And we were having those conversations, you know, when the vice president then, under Buhari, came to visit the state. So imagine the number of paperwork that has been put just by my community. Don't even talk about Bokos community, Chief community, the Idoma community, they name the community. I'm sure that if you count the paperwork, the stacks of paperwork that has been written on this matter, you would be buried under it. But we did not see that there was anything that was being done to help the situation. And knowing us for what we can be, we care very much about our image abroad. And that is why, in spite of where we are, in fact, we like to pride ourselves to being the giant of Africa, because it's an ego thing as well. So why not take it to somewhere where they can be able to, where the United States can be, if United States then says, can we have a conversation with the Nigerian government? They will be more inclined to listen. So that is why, that was what led to having this kind of conversation. And that is why I heard you even mention earlier on that Reverend Dachomo, who is also from Plateau State, is speaking to taking the government to The Hague. Because at some point in time, there's just a belief that there is a lot going on. There's a lot of complicity in various places. And that is why the terrorism has refused to abate. Maybe if they can, also join forces with Nigeria, maybe we might be able to see a change in the fortune of
why do you think there is that complicity you said? To what end?
It could be for any number of reasons. Like we said, I know that there's the community called Mayfair. It's in Just North, and that is the funny thing about it. It is not even in the dead of the village. It is in Just North. That entire place, that entire village, they routed everybody, everyone, and it has one of the most fertile piece of real estate that you can find closest to the city center. It also has minerals in there. And as we speak to you, as we speak with you now, other people have now taken over that place. people that I know of individuals that had spent their time, made some money, built their houses there. Nothing is standing. All you see is the carcasses of houses, churches, and all of that have been burnt to the ground. And of course, not too far from there is another enclave of this terrorist.
So, in your opinion, opinion now, I mean, you're a lawyer, so I'm sure you can tell me this straight on. Do you think that these attacks are, as I know that there are also Muslims who are killed, but do you think that it is more specifically directed towards Christians?
Now, the thing I will say very clearly, and I think it's something that we might have to do it in a very elementary fashion, and it goes like this. The question one: Have people been killed in the Middle Belt? Have you had some of the which region have you had some of the greatest number of deaths?
Middle Belt
is in the Middle Belt.
Yes,
in the Middle Belt, what faith is mostly practiced by the Middle Belters?
Christianity.
It's Christianity. So I don't think that the question now, the fact that Trump decided to project that demographic, that data that he has in his at his disposal, and it has become such a big issue. I've decided as well that one of the things when we have some of these conversations, if we know that we're going to enter very murky waters with the conversation, we bring the conversation right back to earth quickly by asking the question: Have our people been killed time and time again? Have thousands of our people been killed? Can you argue that? And of course, the answer is going to be, of course.
How possible is it that a government will be in power and watch a particular people from a particular faith, with different terrorists in the names of different terrorist organizations, decimate particular group of people or more of a particular group of people as often as possible, and then we keep saying that there is no genocide? What end? And then how possible is it that the government itself perhaps it's finding it a bit difficult to tackle this situation? Because I don't want to say that they're helpless. They like saying they're helpless. So it just be like saying the team too hard them. Because a lot of people get confidence and faith for our military. I mean, still the renewed vigor when they say they don't use the fight back now again. So they don't even get war between ISWAP and Boko Haram. They see the fight inside water. They fight, serious fight and all that. So where the Nigerian army of the economics, where those Nigerian army will say gallant, how come we will not fit and do this? For almost 20 years now, you said over a decade. It's about 20 years now. This has been ongoing. How come? Where did we get it from? What is going on?
You see, in the absence of any clear-cut explanation, that is why we feel that some individuals must be compromised somewhere. That the security apparatus, as is apparent to us, is definitely having its compromise here and there. If not, Nigeria, that has been able to send gallant soldiers everywhere in the world, are seemingly helpless in dealing with their own issues in their in-country. Does that even make sense? If you say that that the terrorists have very sophisticated armaments, the question I'm asking is all the taxes that have been collected from ordinary citizens, why don't you convert some of that money to matching the armaments that the terrorists also have? We cannot be using those arguments. We cannot be speaking as if, we are not a sovereign nation. We're not a sovereign country. And it's because we haven't really been able to push the narrative or push our status as a sovereign the way we need to do it. And be able to say very clearly that we can take care of our own by ourselves. That is why individuals who are outside of our compound are now saying, please, Chairman, if be like say you need help. If you need help, we'll be here to help you. Because it doesn't make sense that your people are dying on a regular basis. Instead of accepting that handshake, now we're jumping up and down and we're shouting. We're a sovereign country. People cannot talk to us anyhow. And all of that, and I'm wondering why. Why are we like this? How did we get to this place? Because it doesn't make sense. The people are dying. As I speak to you right now, only God knows who is going to die tonight. Only God knows. And that is the reality. Can't run away from it.
All right. Okay. So, we're waiting with the expectation, to see that since this Trump wake-up call and all that, waiting on the people they expect moving forward. Well, what's the expectation from your people on the U.S. intervention?
What are we expecting from the intervention?
Yes, waiting beyond expectation. Especially as government, clearly government no one made them come in. They say they don't handle the matter. So do you guys think that perhaps government will not have the renewed vigor, like they said, to tackle the issue heads on? Or you guys would still perhaps keep pushing for the US to come in and do what they have to do, especially considering saying that people from another place may right to the US in the first place?
Yeah, and that's another thing that I heard, saying our lobbyists, saying our lobbyists in the United States. I'm like, are you people serious? Our people are dying. We have run out to go. We are not being heard in our community. We have gone out to go and say, please, come and speak to our people. Come and speak to our government. Come and help our government to help us. And then you are saying that it is lobbyists, as if it is some faceless company that is going to do all of that. It is the people who are being killed on a regular basis. It's really that simple. What are we expecting? Some of it is what we're already having conversations about now, because it is now that this conversation has gained traction that people are now having conversations and trying to say well, it is not like that where we can do this, you don't have to get worried, and all that bothers the normal everyday villager in any of those places is do what you need to do. So we're expecting that we expect to see a renewed vigor. If they didn't think that it was so important, or the lives of the people in the Middle Belt wasn't so important, now I'm sure they have seen that people do really care about what happens in the country. And instead of fighting this narrative, like I said before, the question now should be, what can we do? Where can we find these individuals? What can we do to ensure that within the next 100 days, we're able to take care of, to decimate this terrorists where they need to be? And I think one of the clergy, foremost clergyman mentioned, also made that suggestion, and I agree. It would have been something for him to say, Donald Trump, we appreciate what you're trying to do, and we're not adverse to it. Give us 100 days. Let us collaborate with you and see what can happen to make sure that some of this, the complaints that you'll get out with him. That's the kind of conversation I hope to be there. Not for people like Daniel Boala to be jumping up and down and gesturing and acting as if he doesn't come from this country that we are all living inside.
All right. So, Barrister Jugo, just very quickly, we hear that a cleric from your region, interestingly, Reverend Ezekiel Lachimo, he has expressed his unwavering support to the United States intervention in the Christian genocide, not alleged. Now, it seems we all agree that there's a genocide against Christians. So, in an interview with, I think that was News Central Television, Lachimo accused the resident President Ahmed Tinubu led government generally, and officials complicit in the killing. He said the repentant Boko Haram members have already in the Air Force, in the police, and that's why Christians must have say in politics. He challenged claims that Muslims are also being killed. He said, by who? When they, say when they come and shout at and all that, they have beheaded a head of a Christian and they licked the blood. That's very gory. He said Muslims claiming that they are killed, that we also killed them. Ask them, how did we kill them? Look at the recent killings. Look at what the picture of a child. And most importantly, he has dragged the Nigerian government to the International Criminal Court again. How possible do you think that is? How successful do you think he would, come back? The US, by the way, who controls the gate.
Yeah, he knows what he's saying. We know what he's saying. And we know that he's not making things up. To succeed in any suit of any kind, if it is a criminal case, you need to prove beyond reasonable doubt.
Absolutely.
If it is
I'm asking this question to take the Nigerian government to the International Criminal Court. This is beyond ECOWAS. ECOWAS where they be chairman. The International Criminal Court. And US already gets interest on the matter. How bad do you think this would be or not for the Nigerian government if he does that?
Yeah. So the ultimately there are so many. Let us not forget that we even mentioned recently. But lest I digress, let me just finish my train of thoughts. What you need to do is to place evidence before this courts and state very clearly that crimes have been perpetrated. You have evidence. You have witnesses, because they are in abundance. Witnesses and evidence, documentations, videos, pictures, they abound. Now, I know that some of the times people would say, it may be hard to prove the matter in court. I would say I would not agree with that. I think there's too much evidence out there. So if he says he's going to take this matter up, I believe that he can take the matter up and take it up successfully. I believe that it is a matter that will be keenly looked at. And when it is, by the time it is done, I'm pretty sure that, it would show that probably some individuals that have been given the reins of power in any of the security agencies will be found to either have been complicit or have shown great ineptitude where in the discharge of their duties, or even negligence, or even outright colluding with the terrorists. I'm pretty sure that they can have their matter heard there, and the matter can be successful. And if it is, the pressure on the Nigerian state to do even better than it is doing now will be re-emphasized, and everybody will know out there that there's generally to be able to get off the bad books of the countries that ordinarily should be our allies, who we do business with and who we exchange cultures with, and all of that. When you're put on the hot seat, you need to discharge yourself. And if they find any of the people that handle security apparatuses has been compromised, I'm sure they'll be bringing them before the Hague in their personal capacities as well, just like happened with the Charles Taylors of this life and a lot of other people before and after him. So this is the only way that helpless communities of the Middle Belt and elsewhere can be able to take their matters up, with the hopes that they will be able to be heard on the world stage and not downplay or whitewash what is happening in country in Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Barrister Jigo. Sincere apologies, I pulled you out this late. It's already getting very late. Let me release you because once I begin young with my people, time will take time so much to make a lie you may go. Thank you so immensely. I appreciate you for your time. I do hope that you oblige us when next we call on you to at least chime in on such issues.
No worries.
Anyway, guys, this is where we're going to end it. Yeah, thank you so much all for joining me. This is wild. We have to keep shining the light on it because as it is hot, we need to increase the volume. Again, there's going to be a protest coming up in Washington, D.C. Let me show you guys so that those of you who are not aware will be made aware. It's on this killings that are taking place in the Middle Belt. So here it is. It's taking place on the 1st of December. It's at Washington, D.C., Capitol Hill. Dress code is all white. And it's at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And these are the prayers to ask President Trump to intervene urgently, militarily, to stop the genocide and impose strong sanctions against Nigerian government officials who are sponsoring the Boko Haram and Fulani Islamic militia terrorists. As credible reports confirm, escalating killings since his CPC designation of Nigeria. 2 is for the U.S. Senate to urgently pass Senator Ted Cruz's bill, okay, section 2747. And then the third prayer is U.S. Congress should urgently pass Representatives Chris Smith's bill, Resolution 860, recently introduced. And the fourth prayer is for President Trump to insist on the return and restoration of the 11, wow, oh my God, 11 million internally displaced persons, mostly women and children who have been displaced around Nigeria and neighboring towns, I guess. That's what they want to say. I have to reach out to the person who did this flyer. There's some errors here. But anyway, so guys, please, as a Nigerian, if you live in the United States, I don't think there should be any excuse, but that's just me. I can't impose anything on anyone. But I think this is a time to have your voices heard. Come with your placard, whatever your prayer, whatever your concern is, come with it on that day and show the world. Let's the as it dey hot. This is very crucial, my people. As it dey hot, we need to lift up our voices, I beg. I don't know what opposition in Nigeria is waiting for. This is a time where everywhere is supposed to be boil right now. But hey, that's just me speaking, right? From my little corner. But anyway, to that end, guys, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to those who were able to join me. Thanks for all the likes. Please continue to like as you exit the live show. I'll see you guys on my next one. Thank you. Bye.